Welcome back to the PGT PLO Series. It is time for yet another final table, and this one is quite mysterious. It's the $15,000 pot limit Omaha mystery bounty coming at you from the PokerGO studio in Las Vegas. My name is Remko Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me in the booth, and there he is yet again, Daniel Negreanu, the man, the myth, the legend, in the center of it all. We are already three-handed, and Donnie will give us all the updates on what happened last night because it was an absolute circus show out there in the studio, which explains how we are already down to three. Tyler Brown, the millionaire man. He is our chip leader. Bryce Yockey, the Mr. Bad Beat, if you want to give them a nickname, on $3.9 million in second place. And Daniel Negreanu, Kid Poker. He is third in chips. 3 payouts remaining, 101, 140, and 218. Lots of points up for grabs. And also a very sneaky $550,000 winner-take-all side bet that will also come into play. You see the 3 envelopes on the table. Those are the 3 remaining mystery bounties up for grabs, along with the trophy. And we got a very interesting deep stack battle.
If this was a slide,
good luck sliding at this table.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. It does not slide on this felt.
So we're only playing 15K, 25K with these enormous stacks. It's quite wild. There's a lot of explaining that you have to do, Donnie. But first, let me welcome all the viewers. Yes, Negreanu back in action, going for his second title. If he wins today, he will be the leader in the race for the PGT PLO Championship, which also puts him in the lead in a $500,000 side bet. But Donnie, I believe we'll have a hard time getting a word in with these guys, but I just want to ask you to describe all that went down last night.
Last night was chaos. Chaos. Absolute mayhem here at the studio. First, they get into the mystery bounty portion of the tournament. 3 off the money. 15 players left. On that first hand, 12 spots paid. So there's 15 left, 12 spots paid. On the very first hand, 4-way all-in at Bryce Yockey's table, which also had Daniel Negreanu at it. It is a 5-handed table. 4 of the players got all in. Bryce Yockey took out 3 of them. Boom, they're in the money in one hand. And Bryce Yockey got the first 3 bounty pulls. Now, he did not elect to take those bounty pulls.
Mistake.
Then Tyler Brown knocks someone out on the other table. Tyler Brown turns around and says, "Oh, has Bryce drawn yet?" He's informed no. He folds his next hand. He goes, "I'm going to go draw." He goes and draws. Boom, biggest bounty, 125K. You can see the little piece of paper in front of him right there on the screen. He pulled that right away. Then he pulled 50K next, the second biggest bounty. Then he pulled 25K next, the third biggest bounty. Unreal stuff. All told, Tyler Brown pulled $230,000 in bounties yesterday. Bryce Yockey, the only other person with a bounty, he pulled 65K total. Now, there is still 50K, 25K, and 15K up for grabs at this final table. So plenty to play for. But it was an outrageous night. Bust-outs left and right. They get down to 5-handed play, which is when we're technically supposed to stop them, or we want to stop them. And they're like 120 big blinds deep. So then we're like, okay, well, this is ridiculous. We have to play them a little bit longer. Of course, the players want to play longer because they want to get into the 15K that's happening today. So they play a little bit longer. Then they get down to 4, like almost immediately. And they're like 135 big blinds deep average. We're like, well, we got to play more.
Just deep.
But then they play a little bit more. They finally lose Taylor Wilson. They stop with 3-handed. They're like, okay, we're going to come back tomorrow. We'll come back a little bit earlier. I think last night ended early, around 9:30 or so.
And then you remove 2 aces.
Just absolutely wild stuff.
Yeah.
Wild, wild stuff.
But if it happens, I'll tell you what.
You'll probably chop.
Yeah, it's true too.
You really want ace, king, king against aces. That's how you do it. And then it really hurts when the king comes.
What's the bet? 90?
All right, that was the longest rant Donnie has ever had here on one of our broadcasts.
I tried to shorten.
I mean,
there was a whole ton of stuff that was happening.
There's a lot more to say still. By the way, Brown, big chip lead, has been crushing this tournament. Negreanu, from me following from the sidelines, has been on 1.4 million for the last half a day. He was chip leader with 1.4 million, and now he's just short stack with 1.4 million, 1.5-ish.
Oh,
and,
there's definitely 3 zeros.
Facing an uphill battle.
At least 3 zeros. Yeah.
Straight here on the turn for Daniel.
There's also
up
definitely
against
5.
top pair, top kicker for Brown. Daniel, of course, already won an event at this series. He won event number 3. He's been saying it for quite a time now. PLO is his jam.
Yeah, Negreanu has really shown himself to be a PLO tournament expert. Now, I will never underestimate the skills of Daniel Negreanu, whatever the game is. But I will say I've been thoroughly impressed specifically with his PLO tournament play, judging by the last one, which he won, which was just 6 days ago, that you did commentary on with Kevin Gerhard while I was otherwise occupied. And that final table, which I watched back, was extremely impressive. And right now, we're going for value here for 375, having made the nuts on the turn. And the river paired the board, so no longer the nuts, but Negreanu still going for value.
Yeah, I would guess that Negreanu would probably have heard from Brown had Brown had a set, so pretty comfortable betting there. And Brown doesn't get sticky. Well done by him to put that one in the muck.
You and I. Are they 40-minute levels? 30 minute levels. All the way. Oh.
They spent 30 minutes yesterday too?
Once you guys got 3 players.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that just a normal structure change?
Yeah.
That's actually, so that'll help. That'll
Okay,
make
so
it
I didn't know that. That makes my line
I think
feel a
3.
little less comfortable now.
Yeah.
And what about heads up? Is it 30?
30, yeah. From 3-handed down. You can make it if you try, just the 2 of us, you and I, just the 2 of us. You can make it if you try, I'm gonna limp his hand.
Limped pot here, Negreanu and Brown. Queen 3-3. That's trips for Brown.
So yeah, once again, welcome to everyone in the chat. I see you all. Please don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're catching us on the old YouTube, also I'll keep an eye
This
on
guy
the...
is like a kind of a chubby Chinese guy, and he sings these random songs on the street, and he's like
that was
amazing.
stuck in your head.
Yeah, he's just like this, but he doesn't look the part, you know. And then he's just like, just the 2 of us, and he's really freaking good.
That's a great song, actually.
Yeah, he crushes it. I mean, he's really good. Yeah, but you can sort of hear the Chinese accent occasionally. You know, just the 2. You know, I don't know.
Yes, Daniel, do it. We
Should've
know
heard
you
him
want
being
to.
Indian last night.
It's okay. Don't worry. I'll get that one for you later. Don't you worry.
If I didn't mention, guys, you able to take a break after you pick your
Break every 3.
I've heard Negreanu do the Indian accent before on various occasions. And I know firsthand from meeting with some poker fans from India at the WSOP, they told me specifically that they love it when Daniel does the Indian accent. Like, they absolutely love it.
Of course.
By the way, keeping up with the chat here, Kev Mo in the house from snowy Colorado. We got one of the guest chatters. By the way, you can change your name in the PokerGO chat if you use it on the browser. We got
This could be it.
Roanoke, Virginia in the house.
End the tournament right now.
You said 11:45, right?
Yeah. Could be with this 3.
Well, we got 3-way action here.
You can make it if we try.
10-4-4, that gives Brown 99% here with the top full house.
That's sort of the way things have been going for Brown.
100.
Bryce Yockey, no stranger to being a 99% favorite. Was that 99%?
I mean, it
must have been-
It had to be right
It was-
around there.
It was perfect, right? That was it Aryeh?
Yeah, Josh
Sorry,
Aryeh
yeah.
in the 50K PPC.
Yockey betting 100K into Brown, who now has this thing locked up. And as we've discussed many times before, in some cases in PLO, it is hard to find a customer, and then you're just better off just playing it passively, hoping that your opponent puts some chips in the middle. We are not going to be concerned about quad fours, and all other options do not beat us.
Yockey looking like he's going to stay on the gas here. Look at this.
$4.95.
Comes with a full pot-sized bet here, which is music to the ears of Tyler Brown, sitting there with an unbeatable hand.
And if you're Brown here, Donnie, even like there's nothing you can do that'll make you look weak. Even calling will look strong because there's such a dry board.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you try and call and, you know, feign that you have a good 10, maybe a 4, but, you know, even if you have a 4, maybe there will be some thought from Yockey that he could blow you off of a 4. What's interesting in Brown's hand, to me, is that he has a 6, so that would make me think, at least, that my opponent is less sort of connected with this one way or the other, but maybe he has a 4 because I have the 10s and the 6 block, so he does come with the check raise, and it's a snap fold.
They're even crazier when they see what I have.
Yeah, they were like, ooh.
Jimmy Bluffett, what's up, buddy? Hello from rainy Costa Rica.
That's like a hidden brag. Like you're
Yeah.
in Costa Rica, but
Sick
it's
brag.
raining. But it's raining.
Yeah, I did. I printed. I always do a rough one, but it changes. You know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I'd play this event and this event, but
I did
if
mine.
I'm
I
in
just
another
printed
one.
it out and just circled all of them.
Yeah, I just all the big ones. Everything big. Everything PLO. Everything big. I also got the Battle of the Ages on there. That's a fun idea. You know how that works? At 10 a.m., it's two flights. At 10 a.m., you have to be 50 or over. The 2 p.m. flight, you got to be under 50. And then on day 2, they combine. Battle of the Ages.
Wow.
Interesting to see which flight has more.
It's a good idea for a tournament structure.
It's fun. Yeah.
I like it a lot more than the double board bomb pot, whatever.
Why? I'm going to win that.
Just the two of us.
I mean, all power to you. I don't think it's
Yeah,
a
I'm
great
not a-
tournament to have for a bracelet at the World Series. Like,
Why not?
Well, now they're doing
a
it
clown
every
fiesta.
hand, right?
Huh?
it's a clown fiesta.
What makes
There's
you
skill,
what makes you say
isn't
that?
Not really.
No?
When you start
how to
getting
play it.
deeper into the tournament, you're going to be 20, 30 blinds deep.
And then just
With
to the
two
end.
boards.
You don't think there's any skill in that?
I'm sure there's some.
Obviously
but
there's
it's a
some.
question of how much.
I mean, you said that about PLO. Well, 20, 30 blinds deep PLO. It's just, fuck it.
It's a little different when you get 2 boards.
Yeah, you have to. I don't know, but there's definitely skill. I think that's.
Of course there is.
Are
It
you
just-
probably just not very good?
That's probably that's the honest.
Like he's good.
Probably
So he's
that
like,
is
he's
highly
good at those games. So he's like, what are you talking about, bro?
split pot game. Big bet split pot, man. That's my wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's a.
I'm all for big pot split, or big bet split pot, but
Players
I think
discussing
it's a very
the
good game, to be honest.
new WSOP event, which is a double board PLO bomb pot tournament. I've been pretty vocal about not being a fan of that game, especially because you play roughly 17 hands an hour.
Just the three of us.
And
And
yeah,
I'm in the small blind facing pot.
all for
No
new
way.
games and mixed games. But people in the chat asking, why does he have a $125,000 placard in front of him? That is the bounty that Tyler Brown pulled last night. We already mentioned it briefly at the top of the show. In a few minutes, we'll show you
anyway, I
guys
looked at the schedule. I have no
the
idea
footage
what
of that.
You know
Yeah,
some
well-
things you're playing.
I know I'm
Would
going to
you,
play
are you,
every
you play Nolan
PLO.
Hold'em too?
Very little.
Okay, well, they're going to play a 25K half and half.
Yeah.
That's going to be. I think that's the one I want on this.
I honestly think
I think
it might
it's gonna be
it might have the biggest turnout of all the 25Ks.
Every PLO
I
player
don't know
will
if it'll
play
beat the PLO, but it'll be close. Like
PLO
it's going
players
to be
will play.
really good. Yeah, all the PLO players.
And then
will play
some of the no limit guys will be like, okay, I'll just play tight in PLO. I'll be like, good luck.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny because it doesn't work as well that way. It's so much easier for a PLO pro to
Oh,
just be, I'm going to play so tight and hold
100%.
them. And
Yeah, because the problem is like when you are playing that tight, you're so face up that like, what are you just going to 3-bet a guy with aces and then flop comes 8-6-4, and how do you fade? How about this?
I think there's a lot of people who play Hold'em who think they're good at PLO but aren't.
I agree.
Oh yeah. No, there's a lot of those. Lots. pot has been declared.
I love sort of the coming of age
Daniel, there's
type
orange down there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
big pimpin'.
story of Tyler Brown, Donnie. We covered him at the final table of the Mystery Millions back in 2023. He won that event for $1 million. He was quiet, subdued, seemed to be a little out of his comfort zone, perhaps, at that final table. And now, relaxed, laid back, playing all the big buy-ins, mostly focusing on PLO events, and just a total mainstay now at the highest level, which is always so cool to see when a player, you know, makes a mark and then continues to thrive in the subsequent years. Obviously, Brown was no stranger to the studio prior to his $1 million score, but let the record show he only had 5 live cashes prior to winning $1 million in the WSOP events. Since then, and it's too many to count, he's added like 40 additional results.
Yeah, Brown talked a little bit about that win during yesterday's play. He said he didn't even bother to defend his title the next year, and he will probably never ever play that tournament again. It was basically just, in his mind, sheer luck that he won it. It's obviously a massive field and a bit of a minefield to get through, you know, but he prefers PLO. He prefers bigger buy-in stuff, and now that he did benefit from that massive breakout score, he's, you know, basically off and running with his career, playing, you know, the stuff that he wants to, like this right here, 15K buy-in at the mecca of poker, the PokerGO studio.
On this board, 95K bet and a call. We have a 4th diamond on the river, 485 in the middle. For those that are just tuning in, yes, this stream started with 3 players. And Tyler Brown did pull a $125,000 bounty, along with a 50K and a 25K. Brown, the richest man in the tournament right now when it comes to the bounty pulls. There are still 3 bounties remaining, obviously. The winner will get the final remaining 2 bounties. And Bryce Yockey with the 9 deuce of diamonds is going to take this one down. A lot of new people to PLO in the chat. You have to use 2 cards in your hand, minimum and maximum.
Right back.
Chips be flying.
Not a good
Yeah,
river.
Brown pulled 6 bounties yesterday.
And another diamond, you're like, oh well.
Yockey pulled 5.
Wow.
That's the only.
Negreanu
Wait, you didn't
0?
get 'em, I was
Yeah,
gonna
no,
get 'em.
no
I'm
one
actually
else.
going
No one else in the tournament pulled bounties.
That's
Thought you might
wild.
have had something like that.
Yep.
Of course, Daniel could pull some bounties here. He's got an uphill battle, but he could do
2
it.
goofy guys with nothing. 1 goofy guy, yeah. 2.
Maybe if I'd raised, then you're like, all right,
Yeah,
I
now
got
I'm
them.
like,
I got
yeah,
them. I got
I'm
them
just
now.
hanging on.
Yeah. They both have.
That
They're
would have
both
been
full of shit.
If you raised, that would have been suspicious. That would have been suspicious.
Raise 90.
Just the 2 of us. Call.
Oh,
Get a future.
We're not even heads up yet, and Negreanu is sticking with the just the 2 of us theme song here. King, Queen, 9, 2 diamonds. Negreanu has got himself some diamonds. Jack 8 not looking too promising.
call.
Turn to 3 of spades. Haven't had a look yet at Brown's cards. This is the first ever mystery bounty event inside our studio. Nice testing ground during the PLO series. I'm still highly anticipating the full-on bounty series, Donnie. This has been mentioned to me too many times by now, and the fact that it still hasn't happened yet makes me very upset.
Yeah, we know how much these players love the bounties, especially when it comes to the PLO. You know, they They love the progressive bounty format. They were absolutely loving the mystery bounty format last night. You know, even Paul Campbell walked by me at one point, you know, big smile on his face, laughing, saying, I guess these guys love it. Yeah, of course you love it. It's great. It's fun. High stakes gambling, baby. Let's go.
Cool Drummer saying Brown is playing a lot of pots. And as a result of that, he got to draw the first bounty during this event. Once again, $15,000 buy-in.
Yeah, this was last night.
Yeah, you were there, Donnie.
Yeah, first bounty pull.
Okay.
Sweat it. It's going to be face back. You can rip it over here and then pull it out.
You're going to have to explain this. I haven't pulled the mystery bounty in a
You
long
can
time.
rip it right here and then slide it out.
All right, so a little instructions there from the floor staff. And everyone on pins and needles about this first big bounty sweat. All right, cameras following Tyler Brown.
Yeah, Chino Reed, Mr. Instagram himself, wanted it for the story. See Chino right there.
Tyler's pulling the first one.
Oh, it's a 0. It's a skinny 0. It's a. Oh no.
There's a lot of zeros.
Oh no.
Lot of zeros.
They all start with 3 zeros.
It's gonna be a 50. It's gonna be a 50.
You need
$5,000.
25. Got it.
He pulls it. He pulls the $125,000 bounty.
There's two types of people when they're new to PLO. They have the nut straight, and they think it's the absolute nuts, and they stick in their whole stack. no
Chino
matter
Reem
what,
has
and
bought
then
into the
overfold
tournament.
it.
Waiting for chips.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
here we go.
the
My
Chino
phone froze
appearance.
already. It just emanates from your being. I can feel you. I can feel your breath.
You guys got a lot of play right now.
I told you.
Bro, it's ridiculous. We're so deep.
So once again, Donnie mentioned it already. The only two players that busted people from 3 off the money until now are Tyler Brown and Bryce Yockey. 6 bounties and 5 bounties. I don't think that that's ever happened before. And they are looking to continue this as Negreanu, the shortest stack in this event, is under pressure from both these players.
Perforated Paperboy said he made 125K already, or he needs to win it all. No, you pull that envelope, you get what's on the card. So that 125K is his. In total, from those 6 bounties that Remko just mentioned, Tyler Brown has already won $230,000. Already.
Does that go on Hendon?
It should.
Yeah.
It really should. I think I said that, you know, maybe a year ago or so on the PokerGo podcast, that we should start tracking mystery bounties. I mean, isn't that part of like live tournament earnings?
Yeah, Matt Glantz would jump like 50 spots on
That's
the
what I
all-time money
mean.
list. Ace, Queen, 8, King on this board. Negreanu pairing 3 of his 4 cards.
Pressure being applied from Brown. Brown did check raise the flop. It was a minimum bet from Negreanu, 25K. Brown made it 90. Negreanu called. Negreanu sticking around here.
River is the jack of clubs, and all of a sudden, things sway in Brown's favor. Negreanu running into Broadway. Broadway, in this case, also being the nuts. No flushes out there.
Can
Pressure.
tell right away he doesn't like it.
Yeah, just to recap the action here, it was a limp pot. Negreanu left for 25K. Brown made it 90K.
Ace 8. Turn that into a bluff.
And then 255 on the turn from Brown. And now he comes with
That run out
325.
either was really good for me or really, really bad. One of the
Discipline from Negreanu. Let's go of all of his
two.
pairs.
Very, very good run out or very, very bad run out.
I think I'm betting on bad.
Yeah, it was a bad run out too.
I also
Negreanu
bet
down
on
to
bad run out.
965. Danger zone. Declared. If you're with us in the chat, please smash the like button. Let's bring this baby up to 500 likes. I see you all out there in the chat. Let's have some fun with this one. Negreanu's second final table of this PGT PLO series. We're here for you to cover the entire series. We got 2 more final tables after this one, Friday night and Saturday night. Saturday is going to be special, 25K buy-in main event. And Donnie, I teased this already, the side action, which is bigger than ever, and the implications today are also quite huge.
Yeah, so there are 11 players in this 50K must win the series leaderboard side bet. I know Daniel is one of them. I know Alex Foxen is one of them. I think Dylan Wiseman might be in there. I kind of heard that Bryce Yockey and Tyler Brown might be in there. Haven't been able to confirm that, but they might be as well. Alex Foxen leads the leaderboard right now, so everyone's already sweating. If Daniel wins this tournament today, beating Yockey and Brown, he will overtake Foxen and move to the top. There's a lot of anti-sweating happening out there. I know Jeremy Osmus, who's in event number 9, the 15K. He's like, I'm rooting for basically like James Chen over there, who's not in the bet, but is kind of towards the top of the leaderboard to somehow come out on top. Of course, if none of those guys win the leaderboard, no one has to pay the additional 50K. But if someone does, that person's going to pocket $500,000.
It's crazy. It's absolutely
They've
crazy.
done these, many times. I think originally it was
Red
through
Lynn.
the genesis of, no, I think it was Sean Winter who like kind of proposed and organized it. But no one's ever won it. No one's actually collected on it. But here, I mean, it definitely feels like we got a shot. I think Foxen is in it, of course. I think Jesse Lonis, who's currently 4th on the leaderboard. So there's a lot to pay. We talked about Negreanu. Whoever wins it here, if these guys are all in it, they're going to get a huge boost.
175.
Aces for Brown. Small pot. Takes it down with a bet on the turn.
You good?
Equity Jam says, Donnie and Remko, how are you doing? We're doing excellent. We get to watch some high-level poker, have some fun with you guys in the chat. Life is pretty good. I'm also doing commentary tonight on the PokerGO YouTube channel and on PokerGO.com on a new cash game called Cash Flow. We've got Sam Soverell hosting some of his friends. We got Rampage Poker, Wolfgang. We have some influencers in the mix. Bryce Hall among those.
Basically, you're getting poker from now till like 10 p.m.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, when this stream ends, we're going to get set up for the cash game, and that'll then be live as well. And yeah, should be a good time. Same, by the way, tomorrow. Same vibe. Tomorrow we'll have a tournament first, and then the cash game right after. So please, share your feedback on all these things. We're trying to do as much as possible in these months leading up to the WSOP.
75.
These final 3 players are guaranteed 101,000, and there's 218,000 up top. Of course, the payouts may not seem as large as you might think, given this is a 15K buy-in that had 78 entries. But remember, a third of the prize pool was reserved for the mystery bounty format. And here there's still a 50K, 25K, and a 15K up for grabs for the bounties. One of the cool things that they did is so that 125 was the biggest bounty, then they had two 50K bounties. One of those 50K bounties was reserved for the final table.
That's good. I like that. Ace, King, 8, 2 clubs. Yockey made a 75K pre. Negreanu called. Yockey continued for 80,000, and Negreanu called again. Here we are on the turn. 3rd club out there. Negreanu here calling the flop with some intentions to bluff, perhaps. His hand not overly strong.
Yeah, I think he was calling, of course, the immediate gut shot to Broadway if he was able to drill a queen, but also that backdoor equity with spades, should they come in, picking up no additional equity there on the turn. Negreanu just electing to check back.
Check.
2 pair? How big? That big? Jeez, I can't be that big.
Like right in the middle.
Yeah. I didn't have 2 pair. I was lying.
You had a like ace queen.
Lines are up. 15, 33.
It's the spot where they turn over ace king, you have to save face.
Yeah.
And then they roll over the 6-8, you're like, good.
That happened in I don't know, one of the tournaments. Board paired like deuces or something, and guy announced 2 pair and he had aces.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Lima in the chat says, calling it now, this year's WSOP is going to be Daniel's biggest year yet. He's clearly been doing lots of work on his game and volume of play lately. I mean, Negreanu seems to be focused more so on the non-hold'em games, which of course is up his wheelhouse when WSOP rolls around. And I do think that, you know, coming off that 50K win last year in the PPC, the focus mentally will definitely be on those bigger buy-in non-hold'em events.
Yeah, and then, you know, if he is splurging in the 2-card format, it's always going to be the really big buy-in stuff, you know, all those 25Ks, 50K, 100K, the 250K, etc. Going into last year's WSOP, you know, Daniel talked about how he wasn't going to bother playing some of the smaller stuff and get sucked in, you know, just going to really focus his time and energy on the higher buy-in stuff. Try and be well rested as much as possible. I even think last year he took a day off here or there just because there was nothing running. You know, he wasn't going to like hop into a 1500 stud or something like that.
245 in the middle here after Yockey made it 100,000. Despite the overcard showing, he's going to continue here with kings, as you can see. What was it called again, Donnie? Those cards that Brown has?
Oh, the wolf pack.
The wolf pack.
Like the middle of the pack.
Well, the wolf pack is going to continue. Hands becoming more speculative or loose, if you will, as we are three-handed. Brown, of course, no showdown value. Had sort of mediocre backdoor draws available to him. I wonder if he has some intention of perhaps trying to steal this one. Actually goes check, check, and then the third jack hits on the river, which is actually a great card for Yockey because a lone ace now no longer a concern. You need to have a pocket pair with trips on board to make a full house. This is one of the easiest things to overlook when you are new to Pot Limit Omaha.
200.
10 seconds.
And Brown is going to lead for 200,000. This will not intimidate Yockey, but is raising perhaps tricky? Is the jack still a consideration?
I mean, yeah, jack can be possible. I am curious if he's thinking about a raise. He does elect to just call.
Brown
Nothing.
showing the 9-6-5-4 with confidence, which I'm a big fan of. Just show him. Just throw him in there. Little sandwich time here for Negreanu.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has lots of meat on it. PlayPokerGo.com, available to you now. Play free online poker, available on web, iOS, and Android. Scan the QR code on your screen, or just, you know, go there and sign up. It is the fastest poker you can probably play. I played yesterday during the broadcast. I took 6th in a tournament of 200 players. It was good fun.
Yeah, it's great. A lot of, you know, really tough players of all levels. You know, you got everyone from beginners up to some pretty experienced players who are, you know, doing some really tough stuff, tough to beat at the higher levels. So don't sleep on Play Poker Go.
I just love how fast it is.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to be on your toes mentally when
Locked
you're
in.
playing. You know, you got to be able to make decisions fast, which is fun. You know, it keeps everything moving quite nicely.
Ace 3-3 on the flop here. Brown versus Yockey, part 10. These two stacks super similar. Negreanu short, caught in the middle between these two. Negreanu still with 25 big, so no immediate desperation, but going up against the 150 big blinds of each of his opponents, surely not ideal. All right, Chad, let's hear it. What's the best sandwich? Negreanu probably working on some tomatoes, avocado, maybe some vegan bacon. I'm super European, so my favorite sandwich is the classic French ham baguette. So some salted butter and high quality ham on a baguette. Cannot be beaten. I do not mind some pickles on that, but it doesn't, it's just ham and butter. That's all I need.
Simple man.
Simple man.
I'll forever be just a breakfast sandwich guy.
Yes.
Like an egg sandwich. I mean, you can give me an egg sandwich. I don't care what time of day it is. It's done in 3 seconds.
Well, you and I are on a 6-day streak right now of breakfast burritos.
That is true.
I literally cannot get enough of breakfast burritos. I'm just saying. Like, that's probably one of the best vehicles to deliver quality ingredients to my system. Shout out to breakfast burritos. It's also not as messy as a sandwich. Yeah. I love it. All right, queens for Negreanu facing a raise to 100,000. It's going to come along and make the call. No need to be overly aggressive. Just see if the flop brings something prosperous for him. King 8-8, not what he was looking for. Brown goes for 80. Just nightmare type flop for Negreanu's hand. He is going to make the call. I assumed he might have wanted to save some chips, look for a better spot given how short he is.
Yeah, I think right now you just have to call at least once. Queen's too good. You know, especially against a capable player like Brown with the stack that Brown has. You know, he's going to look to pressure you quite a bit.
Action goes check, check. 4 on the river. And look at that. The escape is there for Negreanu, makes trips. Now, this is not the kind of trips where you're slam dunking. This is just the kind of trip where you're happy to have made it.
Good trips are 4. Take it.
That was good? No? Oh, wow.
Which 2 pair?
I mean, this is a huge
trips. I'll take
pot
it.
for Negreanu.
Oh, yeah. That's very big. Very big. Gets him up
They
close
were
to a
both
million.
good.
Up over 30 big blinds. You know, I know he's still very much behind Yockey and Brown, but bit of a boost there for D-Negs.
D-Negs still chasing that second title. If you want to work on your game and potentially play for a title here one day, check out OctopiPoker.ai. Drill real spots from PGT final tables in the ultimate poker lab for everyone. And when I say drill real spots from PGT final tables, I mean it. Like, you can go to OctopiPoker.ai and replay final tables from PGT events through the eyes of whatever player and go through whether or not they made the right decision. Really fun, engaging, interactive tool. Go check it out, OctopiPoker.ai. Absolutely loving the sandwich talk in the chat. Probably one of my favorite topics, to be honest. Donnie, have you ever eaten a sandwich where you sort of tilt it sideways, split the buns, and just go straight for the meat?
No, I'm not Phil Hellmuth. I am not Phil Hellmuth.
Oh, wow.
Aces. Aces for D-Negs. Aces.
Sound the alarms in the chat. Sound the alarms. Daniel Negreanu finds pocket aces.
Now, Yockey did raise here on the button. Probably going to see a 3-bet here from D-Negs. You know, haven't seen too many of them.
330.
He just goes for the full pot.
Brown gets out of the way. Action back on Yockey.
I got 645 back.
Thank you. 330.
Probably going to see Yockey call here. I mean, I know you can look at the King 10 8-7 and say, it's not that good, but you see the equities there on your screen. 61, 38,
Huh?
basically
Bad luck.
60-40 here.
I was
You're
gonna
never
say good
really
luck
crushed in
players.
PLO, so Yockey going to take that spot in position, see if he can flop well, and in his mind at least KO D-Negs.
Queen, Jack, Deuce on the flop. Yockey open-ended. Backdoor spades.
All in.
Yeah, this money's going in.
Negreanu's all in. Yockey makes the call, and Daniel Negreanu's tournament life on the line.
Okay, you need an ace then.
Or a 9.
Or a
Have
9.
both.
Actually, a really good spot here for Daniel, all things considered. Yockey probably thought, I'm not in that bad of a shape, but ace, and a 9 all taken away because Daniel holds
Playing blocker,
those cards.
defense.
Yeah, I was afraid of that, but fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Bounty's on the line.
Yeah, maybe I make a backdoor flush.
There's that too.
I'm good at that.
All right, 2 million chips in the middle. This could be a turning point for Negreanu. Turn is the 6 of hearts.
You can make it if you try, just the two of us.
Negreanu's safe for now. 88% to double.
That's true. I didn't even think that.
Let's see the river card.
Nice
It's the
hand.
4 of spades,
640,
and he is
actually.
back
So,
in
you break
business.
one down. There you go. 1,
Sure.
There we go.
4. That's 5, 6, 40.
Sure, that's what the fans want to see.
I mean, we got ourselves a real game now. Still only playing 15K, 30K.
Yay, I finally used a time extension. Because I had such a difficult decision. I wasn't sure whether that hand was like a hand I should play or not. Then I just, you know what? ICM this. I'm going to go with the aces.
You had to try to get me in. I get it.
Nacho approved.
I was doing what I could. I mean, I got all these stacks. What the hell am I going to do with them?
Oh, of course.
Pretend. I was doing pretend there. I really wasn't even thinking, because you know what I knew? I knew right away I was going to re-raise you, but I did the fake thing, where like all the kids
I knew
do.
right away I was going to call you too.
Yeah, I mean, I knew you would anyway, because you're just like, you just have to, but. Just the two of us.
Nice even 2 milli there
Yeah.
for D-Negs. He's the short stack with 66 big blinds. What in the world is happening?
I mean, people better make themselves lunch or whatever.
Yeah, speaking of
because-
sandwiches, you better make 3 of them. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
I
gonna be
know.
here a
I'm
while.
not the struggling. I just threw out chips that were pod.
Clicking buttons.
All right, if you're loving that, double up, hit that like button. Let's bring this thing to 1,000 likes. Negreanu in the mix as always. Appointment viewing. King Jack 7 of the rainbow variety. Brown versus Yockey. Playing 30-minute blind levels, so
135.
it's not the World Series Poker main event. Midnight Expose with a $10 donation saying, chat, goated, 401k in shambles, don't care, LFG. hope you're well out there.
That's a great message.
That's especially on this day.
RIP the 401ks, but at least
Yeah.
we got D-Negs at the final table, right?
Yeah, I mean, the tariffs at this final table go up every 30 minutes, That's just how it goes. Brown coming with a bet of 135. Yockey calls 9 of hearts on the turn. Brown with the beautiful turn card, making him the king high straight and also giving him the nut flush draw. And Brown continues for 400. Would you have liked to see Brown slow down here, given the monster strength of his hand, or are we just getting too creative there?
I mean, I think it's fine to just continue to drive that value. And look at this.
Wow.
10 seconds.
Bryce Yockey raises to 1.4 million, putting basically half his stack on the line. And now Brown's got to ask himself, am I free rolling here to the hearts against someone with the similar hands? Yockey, Donnie, probably raising because he has that blocker. And here we go. Brown comes with the shove Yockey out of the way immediately. And those queens probably triggering the raise there.
Yeah, of course. You know, he is
Imagine you
blocking
had good cards. to
the
do all
queen
that,
10
all
there.
that. Big
Of
money
course,
going
we
in
know
there.
Brown had it. But yeah, you know, I like Brown, you know, just coming with the betting there. You know, no need to get cute. These guys
check,
are
he's
super
happy
deep,
once
so
again.
do what you can to just drive that money in. One thing that did benefit Brown in that situation is he had a straight and none of his other cards interacted with the board in the sense that,
No.
you know, Yockey can have two pairs.
No.
Maybe he has a set,
like that.
stuff
I
like
can
that.
see
Maybe
that.
he has the inferior straight as well. So I'm just going to drive this action and try and get the money in. And if we do get the money in and I'm up against another queen 10, well, I know that I got the nut hearts and I'm going to free roll you. So this is a great spot for me, and Brown went with that. On the other side, you know, listen, it warms my heart that Bryce Yockey, 1, plays super aggressive, 2, always just snap folds.
Yes.
When he's caught bluffing, it's instantly in the muck. No Hollywooding, you know, no being like, oh, yeah, oh, I have 2 pair, oh, I'm going to make a tough fold. No, just instantly in the muck every time. Move the game along.
10
All right, both players with 9-9-7. Brown with the king to give him a far better hand than Yockey.
time extension.
And of note, you know, that pot, Negreanu's in second. Yockey's third right now. I mean, that's crazy. And Brown has 200 big blinds. I mean, this is a stack you get in like level 3 of the tournament.
It's
You're
crazy.
200 big blinds deep.
I mean, good development here for Negreanu. You know, the stack size is sort of flipping here after Yockey pulled off a massive bluff that ended up not working out for him, but you got to respect the effort. As we look at the PGT PLO leaderboard, Foxen on top, Cheetah Ream, Dylan Smith, Jesse Lonis, and Sean Raphael in the top 5. Negreanu wins today. He'll be the new leader with 2 events still to come. Event number 9 kicking off right now inside the
I was
studio.
staying home. I wasn't even going to come. He's like, no, you can win the thing. Da, 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 da. Show up here, almost win the thing. He's like, oh, you can't win anyway.
Oh, wow, he like actually screwed you.
Yeah, I wasn't going to come. And then he's like, well, no, I asked how the point worked, and
Yeah.
there was a confusion.
We're still talking about bounty gate, about rebuy
Can
gate.
make it if we try. I'm going to fold.
10 seconds.
Even cheap.
First walk.
Just the 2 of us. You can make. Why is that? That's going to be in my head because it's because of the Chinese guy singing it on the street. Yeah.
You're probably screwed for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Missed a good song.
I have it in my head. It's, at some point, it's going to be just the 2 of us. I don't know which 2.
Raise 105.
$105 from Negreanu with a double suited king 7. Yockey with a nice looking queen 9, 8, 8 double suited.
Call.
10 seconds.
Yockey's going to defend from the big blind. Ace 3, 5. Rainbow flop. Lots of backdoors to go around here. A diamond on the turn would be probably the most interesting card, giving both players a flush draw. Let's see if Negreanu comes with anything here.
75.
Let's give it 75,000. Not worth chasing here for Yockey. He lets it go.
You have the most.
I figured that
Okay.
much.
Stop bragging. He's like, look at me, look at all these, or like these, and then I have these for later.
2 flips. That's all it takes.
Yeah, I know. I was like, well, the last one I won was 18 million. I had 1.6. Yeah.
It's a little harder at 30K big blind, but
Yeah.
Call.
Check.
Check.
Dust has settled a little bit. We're back to the grind. Seeing Jack 3-4. Negreanu flopping a set of threes. Top and bottom here for Yockey. This could get pricey.
Call.
Yockey bets 45. Negreanu comes along and makes the call. Turn card, King of Hearts. Negreanu 95% to win this hand. Yockey can only improve to the best hand by hitting a jack.
Seconds.
$115.
Yockey continues for 115, and this perhaps a spot where Negreanu wants to get some more chips in. I'm gonna keep playing this pot small, not wanting to bloat the pot against perhaps some strong draws or even other concerns you might have. River is the ace of spades.
Check.
Yockey decides to check. Action now on Negreanu.
Yeah, definitely going to go for some value here. Just a matter of what sort of sizing. I would think he might come with around 75% pot.
205.
Time extension.
Okay, half pot.
It's 205.
205 from Negreanu, and Yockey's 2-pair has shrunk as the hand progressed. There must be some, stronger 2-pair combos that Negreanu could be value betting here.
Yeah, I mean, Negreanu can have stronger 2-pair combos. He can have sets. He can have 5 deuce. Again, this was limped, and Negreanu just checked in the big blind. So 5 deuce is certainly in there, right? So this is a tough spot for Yockey.
Time extension.
He could have certainly been ahead with Jack 3, and then maybe Daniel has something like, I don't know, a 5-6 with an ace 4 in there that then gets there on the river, stuff like that. So. Looks like he's going to pay this off. He does.
Set.
Look at this. Great value for Negreanu with his set of threes, and that will solidify his second place for now. Yockey on the short stack, 1.1 million. Negreanu trending in the right direction, and look at that. He's even wearing the same sweater. You can win your seat into our $1 million championship PGT free roll happening at the end of the year. Scan the QR code on your screen, or go to pgt.com/gleam to check out how you can enter to win.
Completely free to enter that competition, and you could be playing in that $1 million championship event. You could be seated right next to Dean Eggs.
I mean,
honestly, that'd be so sick, right? He'd be like, "Hey, buddy, I won via the Gleam promotion." I mean, that'd be pretty awesome.
How much did it cost you to play in this thing?
Yeah, exactly. Daniel's out here spending $1 million in buy-ins, and all you did was click some buttons on social media, you know, repost a post or whatever, you know, follow us on X or Facebook or, you know, all those different things. I mean, definitely check that out. Take advantage of it. Great opportunity for free.
Jack 9-7. Nice bit of rundown action here for Yockey. Still got 39 bigs.
Time extension.
Right, under 5.
Try the 1.2.
About.
Brown defends with king 6 deuce deuce. Range is widening here during three-handed play. 10 9 3 2 diamonds. Terrific flop for Yockey. Top 2 flush draw. He's even got an inside straight draw. Yockey takes it down. Would have preferred a lot more action, of course.
A lot of people hating on the nose strip.
For good reason. This thing, the nose strip thing works two ways, right? You can benefit from it, and we can make fun of it. Those are both acceptable options.
If you haven't already chimed in about the nose strip, I mean, you might as well. It's just it's great content. I wear one when I sleep.
Oh, really?
I have like a deviated septum, so I have.
Did you break your nose?
I did once playing soccer. Like I headbutted.
But it doesn't bother you like day to day?
What do you mean?
Like right now, you're breathing just fine.
I do feel like my breathing has gotten better because I wear it at night, and it like helps, I think, open up the passages. But you're not going to catch me out here in the real world.
Do you tape your mouth shut when you go to bed?
No.
All right, we got action here. Negreanu made it 105. Brown 3-bet to 345. And Negreanu comes along and makes the call. We got 750 in the middle here. 60-40 in Negreanu's favor. We're practically flipping coins right now. Interesting flops for both players.
Check.
Diamonds for Negreanu will most likely entice a bet from him.
$300.
10 seconds.
Negreanu comes with 300.
Call.
Turn is the king of diamonds. The check mark goes to Negreanu, and again, finding himself in a spot to chip up some more.
This is a fun card. Brown gets there with the ace-queen.
Check. Check.
Quick check, check. Negreanu doesn't want multiple streets of action. And the board pairs jacks on the river now. We can see that Negreanu still has the check mark, but this is definitely going to reduce the fireworks here, if you will.
Check.
Small ball approach from Negreanu so far with his flush, and he checks behind. Negreanu's going to show his flush, and he's going to be happy to take this pot down without further action. Are you surprised to not see him go for value?
No, I think
Jack
I'm
two.
fine with the check
Would've been
back.
funny
You
if I
know,
bet and then you just punch me in the face, maybe.
part of it, you know, there
If you
is
bet bigger, I'm more inclined to raise.
Yeah.
If you bet smaller.
Just you have a hand that wins. You don't have to bluff.
you know, what's going to call me that has me beat. I can open myself up to some check raise bluffs, which
just
puts me in
had
a
to
real
check it was going in.
crappy
Yeah,
spot. So
yeah.
I'll just check back and collect the pot. You know,
didn't
at
want
this
the decision.
stage, it is a pretty healthy pot, big enough that I'm happy
It
to
left
just
the
take it
actual
in.
flop too.
Yeah.
just
Oh, you
gotta-
would have?
You just
Yeah,
got
I would have
Daniel, big blind, please.
definitely played.
too many chips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super deep.
D-Neg's up over 3 million.
Call.
Don't forget to hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube. We're about to pass 800 likes. The goal's 1,000, people. 1,000.
Eight, 6, 9. 1 diamond. Yockey with the best of it here so far. 8s and 6s.
Call.
King of diamonds on a turn. Things improving here for Bryce Yockey.
Check. $75.
Little half pot stab here for Daniel. Of course, hoping he can just win it right here.
Call.
The jack of clubs hits on the river. Yockey backs into a king high straight.
What's in there?
300.
Pot.
That's 300.
10 seconds.
Negreanu makes 2 pair here on the end, jacks and 9s. He also does have a queen, which blocks the straight.
Seconds. Time extension.
Daniel correctly lays it down. Well done by him. One of the things I think Daniel excels at when it comes to pot limit Omaha and was on display there in that hand is, if you guys remember, you know, a couple of years ago, 5, 10 years ago, whatever, in poker's big booming years, Daniel was always like calling people's hole cards and then calling the bets.
Absolutely.
But in PLO, he does the opposite. He like sniffs out the what the person could have and then folds. Now maybe sometimes that is some overfolding and he does lay down the best hand, yes. But you know, oftentimes he doesn't get sticky. Earlier against Tyler Brown, he had the 2 pair, he had 3 pair. Brown ended up, you know, backing into a straight. He made the fold on the end. There, you know, he makes the fold on the end. Maybe that's a lesson that Daniel can take to his Hold'em game.
Right.
You'll fold a little bit more.
Well, we got our first bit of three-way action in quite some time. 1 of 5 from Yockey, and both Negreanu and Brown in the blinds came along. We see 8-9-4, 2 diamonds. Very interesting flop here. Negreanu's flush draw is dead versus Yockey. Negreanu has the bottom end of an open-ended straight draw, which is blocked by himself as well as Brown's pair of 10, so that is not an exciting look. Brown has 6-5 in his jacks play here, along with the flush draw and backdoor clubs. It just takes me like 2.5 minutes to name all the options here. Yockey comes along and makes the call. Turn is the jack of spades. Yockey hits top set. Now we can see it's not the nuts, but you know, how often will Negreanu lead a flop like this with Queen 10?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if it's Queen 10 with some diamonds, maybe a Queen 10-7, you know, type of hand. Looks like 400? 375.
This is one I would have played on the flop for everything. So I don't know if that's good or bad for you. Probably bad.
Look at that. Look at that. Just
I would've
doesn't
played
really
on the
think
flop.
about it. Just into the
done.
muck it goes. All done, Daniel.
No. Little flush draw and stuff. No wrap. 5, 6, 7 with diamonds.
Thank you.
Wow. Got a pretty good hand there.
Yeah, that turn was like below average.
Yeah. For you.
Yeah. Wasn't the one I was looking for.
Here's a look at playpokergo.com, a fun and free online poker games to deal yourself in right now at playpokergo.com, available on web, iOS, and Android. The fastest game in town. I might log in right now and just get myself back into one of the many tournaments they have running. Lots of action there around the clock on playpokergo.com.
Pot.
140.
Still three-handed here as Daniel Negreanu comes in with a pot-size raise on the button. Ace, Queen, 9, 5. We did recently pass 1,000 likes. Let's set the next goal at 1,500. We'll just go in 500 like increments. Is there a chance that we could get to 1,500 by the end of this hand? Can we do it, chat? Can we do it? Christopher Harris with the Canadian $2 donation says, Jimmy Bluffett, Modfather extraordinaire, Jimmy Bluffett to the front. Let's go, people. Smash that like button. I want 1,500 likes by the end of this hand. This is three-handed. We got D-Negs going for his second title of the PGT PLO Series. Yockey's 2-pair here is best on the turn.
10 seconds.
Trey, I see you. Definitely just liked it. Thank you, Trey. Let's go, bait people. Let's go. We're only 100 likes away. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Pot.
225 is the bet from Yockey. Pot size raised from Daniel.
340.
He's got a worse hand right now, but he also has the diamonds with the Queen 9 of diamonds in his hand.
100, 315.
Will we be getting the money in right here? Yockey with the decision. Yockey can be thinking back to how this hand started originally. Negreanu with a pot-sized raise on the button. Action was check, check on the flop. You know, would Daniel check back set of aces, set of kings, ace, king? Or does he have a hand that is like what he has, you know, an ace with some sort of draw to go along with it?
10 seconds. Time extension.
Yockey in the tank here. D-Negs made it 1.315 to go, which is putting the ultimate pressure on Yockey.
All in.
Yockey's going to move all in. Daniel calls off the little bit extra.
Coupe. That's good.
All right, Yockey's two pair. He is all in and at risk, but you can see the outs at the top of your screen. 16 of them
The king would counterfeit you.
for
He
D-Negs.
loses me.
I see that.
I feel it coming. Do you feel it coming?
All right, chat, let's hear
I'm
it.
sort of lying. I'm sort
What are
of
you
lying,
rooting
but
for on
no,
the river?
Not the
You don't
king.
feel
I
it
don't
coming?
Give me a card. What are you rooting for on the
I think
river?
you're gonna see like a 4 spades.
Yeah, I don't know who wins that. I don't feel
4
it.
spades.
I don't know. Whatever happens, buddy. All the best.
Yeah. Same.
You had the ace of diamonds.
I didn't like that, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, because when I raised turns. Just the two.
River card is the 8 of spades. Yockey's two pair holds, and he scores a huge double up through Daniel Negreanu. Daniel Negreanu knocked back below 1 million in chips. Not out of it yet,
6-6? Yeah.
but he's back to the bottom of the mountain and has a big uphill climb ahead of him once again. Plenty of equity there on the turn for Daniel Negreanu. Plenty of outs, but failing to hit one on the river.
Tough
And a
spot.
huge double up for Bryce Yockey as he moves
hoping he
back
got the
into
hand he
second
had.
place on the leaderboard.
Still only 60%.
A little better, but yeah.
Well, depends. I mean, depends what else he's got, I guess. Could have another over, could have a gutter, like.
Playing 20K, 40K blinds right now. Kind of back to where we started. Tyler Brown's got the chip lead. Yockey's in second with a very healthy stack. And then D-Negs has some work to do. Negreanu's still working with 23 big blinds. So I know if you look at the actual amounts up in the top leaderboard, it doesn't look too great, but the blinds are still pretty small overall. And, you know, Negreanu's got plenty to work with here. Couple of kings for Yockey in the small blind after Brown raised on the button with ace 8-8-7. Yockey's got king, king, queen 4, jack 10-10 deuce for Daniel. All right, he's out of there.
That's it.
Greg on PokerGo says, dang, close. Why, Daniel, why? Gabra says, need that type of luck in my home game. Yeah, listen, it takes some luck to fade, you know, bazillion outs. Christopher Harris says, if you look at the play, D-Negs has played the best out of anyone. What do you guys think in chat? Who do you think has played the best so far today of these three players? Is it Bryce Yockey? Is it Daniel Negreanu? Or is it Tyler Brown? Who has played the best today? Queen 5-4. Brown comes with 200K. Yockey calls. 8 of hearts on the turn. Things flip now in favor of Brown, who turns a set of 8s. Yockey had those kings. He ultimately flopped 2 pair with the queen and the 4 in his hand. Was about 70% equity on the flop, but now you can see it's Brown with 90% equity thanks to that 8 of hearts on the turn.
80.
Brown continues after a little bit of deliberation there. 380,000. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't already. We did quickly pass 1,500 likes on the YouTube video. So next goal, 2,000. Let's rock and roll. Yockey makes the call here, and this pot is getting quite large, more than 1.5 million in the middle. 3 of spades on the river. Checkmark to Brown, as long as this one gets to a showdown.
Check.
Yockey comes with a check. Time extension deployed here for Brown as he continues to think.
Pot.
2,280,000.
It has to be less than that. Should be like 1.5.
10 seconds.
Just got it.
If there was 720 and then or 760 and then I bet.
Yeah, 760 times 2, so
Yeah.
2.28.
No, it's
Just count it.
should be 1,520.
Yeah, 760 times 2, 1.52. So that will be the bet.
That's right, so it's 1.520. 1,520,000 is a bit.
And Yockey here with a decision. Clubs missed, of course. A straight draw did come in.
Yeah, 1.520.
I believe Yockey only has, I think, 3 time extensions left, so keep that in mind as he goes into the tank here. He does find the fold. Well done by him. Big pot there in favor of Tyler Brown as he stretches out that lead once again.
You're small.
Oh, 20. Yeah. It's playing higher.
All right, Negreanu's got some work to do. 20 bigs. Back to the grind or the fight. Poker is a combat sport. Can never give up.
10 seconds.
Call.
Let us know if you still believe in Negreanu's chances.
Call.
He's definitely a big underdog right now against these 2 big stacks.
Check.
3-way action here. Limped pot.
Check. On a 5.
Jack 7-9, 2 hearts. Negreanu waits for a better spot. Negreanu still can't stop whistling the song. It's pretty funny.
D-Negs won event number 3 at the PGT PLO Series. A win here today would move him to the top of the series leaderboard. Right now it is Alex Foxen up on top.
Yeah.
Additionally, a win today could get Negreanu into second on the season-long leaderboard.
Dominate.
I mean, that's probably
Oh, I thought you said you had a 5.
something he focuses more on in the long term. But in the immediate term, that bonus, definitely a major player.
Could have been double suited. I still think I fold.
Well, good fold. I was going to raise.
By the
You read
way,
me.
Tyler Brown sporting the No Gamble, No Future hoodie, which you can find in the PokerGo shop,
Sean Winter deck read.
shop.pokergo.com.
Yeah, use the code PGT10 and you'll get 10% off all the merch items in the store.
Heads up.
140 from Brown. Negreanu calls ace 5-4-3. Nice low rundown, but you got to connect in a specific way. And this way might be just specific enough. Negreanu flopping nut spades, 1 pair, a bunch of cards wrapping around that 3.
Yeah, I would guess that if Brown does come with the bet, which it looks like he is, then Daniel just tries to get this money in here. Short enough that just go with the check raise.
He's not gonna ever fold a pot. You're never folding. 0%. If you folded, I'd laugh really hard.
All right, Negreanu's all in here.
We should have folded.
18 outs. Holy moly.
Pair of threes.
I think he had 16 last time, and Bryce
Lots of
Yockey
stuff.
doubled through him,
Gotta
so
deuce, though, for defense.
can he find it this
Walk
time?
that backdoor wheel.
That's bad.
All right, call your cards
Spade.
in the chat that you think Negreanu's going to hit,
They are.
And me.
or will Brown send him to the rail? 2 big cards to come here. Negreanu's turn of the life
Luck.
on the line.
640 it is.
Okay.
Negreanu all in for 640.
Prepay then.
640. There you go.
Oh, that's mine.
2 pair.
Turn is the
Full
5
bet. Hey.
of hearts. Negreanu makes 2 pair. Brown now looking for a queen, jack, or 9 to send Negreanu to the rail.
No deuce.
But not the 9 of spades.
Deuce.
Also no deuce.
Why? What does a deuce do?
Gives
Oh,
you a
deuce
wheel.
and deuces.
No,
but it makes me the
gives you a
wheel.
That's why I said no deuce.
Hey, that's what's up.
I'm sharp.
Yeah, he's on it.
All right, 1 card to come. Can
8
Negreanu fade it?
Okay.
River is a
640
7
it
of diamonds. Game on.
And the crowd goes wild, baby. Let's go. Back
I'll-
in the game.
Let me check the chat. Make sure the crowd goes wild.
Well, they better be going wild. Let's
And
go.
out,
Come
play
on.
away.
D-Negs doubled up.
Go back to your roots.
That's right.
Back up over 1.6 milli. Come on.
Those are your roots?
Well, I mean, partly.
I thought 12-handed limit hold'em was your roots.
Yeah, 11.
11.
Did I ever tell you this story? It's a true story. We were playing.
think
Playing at a club. It was 11-handed limit hold'em.
Oh, I think, yeah. I think
And
so.
it was like 3 in the morning, and there was 2 games going, but one got like 8-handed, one got 7, and everyone was complaining because they didn't want to play short. 8 and 7.
So they combined to 15.
So we made a 15-handed limit hold'em table. Like you're under the gun, you have ace, queen, O. You're like, huh, what, 14 hands behind me?
You're under the gun, you have aces. It has to be bad.
I
What?
think you just limp everything.
Aces?
Honestly.
Yeah.
On-
15-handed and limit hold'em?
The way that the
How
game
are aces
played-
bad? They're aces.
No, they're not. Dude.
I think you'd much rather have like suited aces than.
No. You
It
want,
does- it
you want
doesn't
aces,
matter.
dude.
Like, the bottom line is you're always getting like an absurd price because you always see
Yeah,
like 8, 9 people
It's,
do a
it's
flop.
limit hold'em. You,
Yeah, you can just
you,
play-
you just want aces.
Aces is fine.
Aces are,
I mean, you're not going to win nearly as often.
but you're gonna win a big one when you win.
Yeah.
You just play aces, hope the board comes out
Like
paired.
with aces, you have 2 nut flush draws.
That's true.
You know?
It's a lot harder to make them.
Like, well, hey, it
This
is.
is true. I mean, I don't play limit hold'em, so I was just kind of making
Well,
a statement, but
It's
obviously
just like you're
believe you
basically
guys
playing
more.
the aces every time you flop a set. You
Yeah,
almost
no,
always
of
win.
course, yeah.
And
of
once
course.
in a
I
while you
understand
win.
Aces are a good hand.
Once in a while you win without
Yeah, sometimes the board pairs and
So it's
they
like
don't have
deuce,
trips.
and nobody has the deuce?
Yeah, you just win.
Yeah. There are some favorable boards.
Yeah, and sometimes just limit hold them. They just have two
Who cares?
cards.
You
They only
just
have
go
two
to the
cards.
river
Yeah,
and you
it's
say,
like,
who's got what?
Yep.
Okay.
You
Cool.
beat me again? Fine.
Imagine betting into 7 people and then saying, you got it. You know, you're like, you get called in 6 spots. You got it. Good call.
Well, you used to tell me that there are people who just never folded before the flop.
Yeah, the first month I played, 11-handed, I was the only person to fold pre-flop. And they laughed at me. They would like make fun of me. Because like, you don't know what's coming, ha ha ha.
Oh, I had one of
I was
those.
winning like 1,000 a day, playing 10, 20. Every day, just like clockwork.
50 bets a day? That's pretty strong.
I mean,
Where are those people?
Every pot you win had like,
Yeah.
I get it. I'm just
40 bets
saying
in
50 bets a day is pretty strong.
yeah. I mean, all I would do is like I would flop a flush draw or something and just keep raising like crazy. Because there's 5, 6 people in the pot.
Yeah, so as long
they
as
all
you
have bottom pair.
As long as you have enough flush draw, right?
Whatever.
Oh, any flush draw?
Pretty much.
Wow, okay.
That was why, whatever. How bad could it be?
It's honestly true.
Donnie, when are we doing our first 15-handed limit hold'em tournament?
Good lord.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this table's big, but we might need a bigger table.
People were thinner back then.
People were thinner back then.
I mean, people hate playing 8-handed these days.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of cash games around town are now max
That's
7.
where I started. How about you?
I have less than I started.
A reminder here,
that means
shop.pokergo.com for all your official PokerGo and PGT merch.
3.9. I'm down $1 million.
Discount code PGT10 save you 10% off whatever you
Just
throw in your
raising
cart.
right into the fucking nuts of the redraw. That's stone zero, like literally
Really?
0%. You could have flatted it and I would have bluffed it off.
I mean, I don't think I can ever flat there, but
I wouldn't.
I
flat
believe
that.
you.
I wouldn't flat either, but I'm just saying.
Pot.
20.
Negreanu limps in with kings. Brown with 10-9-7-6 is going to race in the big line. Negreanu out of position with kings. Kind of a tough hand to play. No suits available to him, and we see ace-7-3. A board that Brown can definitely try and represent.
That makes it much easier to play this hand.
I could say the same.
Yeah, I had a tough hand to play. But the flop made it very easy. My hand was difficult at this stack depth. Very, very difficult. I think a lot of people punt with my hand.
They raise it.
Like limp raise, Badoogie kings, like king, king, 6 Dewey.
Yeah,
Just like pot. Like what's that gonna do for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm never.
especially in a
folding.
bounty.
I know, I'm saying, obviously. I'm just like, it's just not that good.
Come on, man, you have the second best hand in poker.
That's what Helmuth used to think. How this guy called me with, he doesn't know I have the king, king, 6-4 Badoogie. The guy only had ace, queen, jack, 9 double. He's like,
It's just like a 58-42 dog or whatever.
yeah. He thought, he's like, they don't know I have kings. I'm like, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was funny because Madison was on the reel. And Madison goes, honestly, Phil, I would have called this hand too. He's like, get him out of here. He goes, he literally did. He goes, get him out of here. Get him out. It was Laszlo. Just called the 3-bet with ace, queen, jack.
Yeah, that's the guy to berate. PLO. Question his
He doesn't know what he's
calling
doing.
decisions.
Yeah.
He has a habit of picking like very, very good players for the game they're playing.
I think I should have check called.
How old are you now, Tyler?
25. Newly.
You're really? You're one of the young ones.
He's the youngest.
Wow, they're so rare these days.
I turned 25 last month.
Yeah. I remember there was a period where everybody was 23, 24.
Yeah.
When the golden age happened.
That was probably 2010.
In that neighborhood, yeah. That's when
There's-
6 betting was cool.
There's a couple of us.
They
running
6-0.
around.
It would be like less than a min raise too.
Yeah, it was like, there was a dick measuring contest. Oh, yeah, you
10K,
3-bet me? How about I'll
10
4-bet you? Oh, yeah?
10K,
I'll 5-bet you.
10K, 18K,
Yeah.
24K,
Yeah, yeah.
35K,
I was looking-
50K, all in 200, and
There's
then I fold.
there's some deep main event. Joseph Chung ran
Yeah,
deep
that's
where
the
he
one.
5-bets.
Yep,
the
A6.
Yeah.
Him and Sean D both did it.
Against aces, right? And beat
Yeah.
aces.
And he's like, well, the guy can only call with aces. I'm like, yeah, but he just has them. Like,
Who's that against? Who had the aces?
I don't
there?
remember.
It was a dirty one. I remember that.
Max Heinzelman.
Yeah. It's crazy to think Tyler Brown's just 25 years old.
Donnie, I don't even know what I did when I was 25.
Wild stuff. I mean, it's great to see. you
Yeah,
know?
no, I love
you
it.
You don't see that many young guys coming up like
It-
this in the game these days, so it's awesome to see, truly.
9-3 deuce, rainbow flop. Negreanu looking to regain some ground on his 2 opponents. Queen of diamonds on the turn. After the action goes check, check. That's all brown on the turn. Negreanu does pick up a gut shot straight draw, but nothing much to go on otherwise.
Ten seconds.
No, I was saying there's like a small group of us now that are what 23 to 26, but none of them really played in the studio aside from Isaac Kempton.
yeah,
How old's Isaac?
he's a funny guy.
26, 27.
Oh, he's
probably
young.
probably
He's young.
27.
He's funny.
He's hilarious. He's just like
I love
him and Sean are like
Sean
the two.
Luther?
Yeah, the,
Sounds like an alien, but Isaac's got that weird.
he's just it's his mannerisms.
Like he belongs on Silicon Valley. You know what I mean? The show.
Yeah.
Like that. He'd be perfect there.
and Blaise. Blaise is also one of my
This guy
favorites.
sucks. Yeah, Blaise is
This
great.
guy. Fucks.
Those are
Yeah,
my three
that
guys.
is-
From that show?
Yes.
Look at this guy.
That is
Yeah,
Isaac.
this guy fucks. He fucks.
I really like Silicon Valley.
Yeah, it was
show.
good. Just the two of us in the small blind. I'm gonna live.
But yeah, I feel like watching old stuff, all the WSOP dreams, the house is full of 22-year-old
Yeah.
millionaires. Like it.
You seen 2 months, 2 million?
Yeah.
Ace deuce 9 on the next flop in this limped pot.
The old high stakes poker was the fucking best, man.
Yeah.
That was the best
That was
show
good
by
because
such a huge
I think
margin.
it was weekly. People knew every Sunday, and then people would talk about it.
It was just like the tons of money, the cash on the table, the prop bets. It was like you literally got to see
Green.
like in the lifestyle a little bit. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was the idea. It was like fly on the wall.
Oh no, of course it was great. And then there's also like obviously the names. Like everyone knew the names too.
Yeah.
There's a hand that Durr played against Ivy where he like ran a huge bluff, like a 400K bluff, and Ivy almost called him the bottom pair.
I know. I was sitting right next to him.
Yeah, and you said, "I know what you have,"
Okay, no, I was wrong.
and I was like, "No, you don't."
I was close. I mean, it was.
You thought it was like a weak one.
But he had a 10.
Yeah,
He had a
sure.
6.
Yeah, just thought it was a funny hand.
10 seconds.
That's one of my favorite hands I've ever seen in poker. Check.
You're talking about the live high stakes poker cash game. The one had 9 high.
The one what?
The one had 9 high.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
like,
9-8
I think it like
Yeah,
9-8
yeah.
suitors. Yeah, something like that. Ivy flopped nut flush draw, called 2 streets, and almost
Yeah,
called bottom
yeah,
pair
yeah.
on the river, which is like honestly one of the sickest things I've seen.
60.
As
Yockey
a
takes
poker
it
fan,
there,
that was
turns a
the
straight.
greatest.
Oh yeah.
What's your career highlight, Daniel? You got one?
Might be you. Feels like it. It's a nice.
I can see that one.
Like,
I mean, honestly, it's like,
I didn't want to break the slump in the $300 turbo bounty online.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I
To
got
do
you.
it in the
I got you.
50K was like.
yeah, the PPC.
That's the one I love. I love that more than any other tournament.
Same.
140.
I thought maybe it was going to be the first one.
140.
140. Cool. Heads up.
It's just a long time ago.
Yeah, for sure. That's true.
Check.
Brown connects with all 3 cards here. His ace 10, 7, 3. Ultimately playing the ace 10 for top 2.
210.
10 seconds.
Daniel just a pair of 10s here. He's going to check fold.
One more hand this level.
Yeah, this is the last one.
Last hand level.
Seconds.
125.
Bryce Yockey makes it 125. Ace
Break
King
time.
6-3.
He's getting double suited deuces.
Wow. Fucking tight fold and a bounty.
100 blinds deep.
2-minute break, guys. Like 118.
Set.
Set and check raise and go broke.
Want to play online poker for free? With PlayPokerGo, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, PlayPokerGo lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore PlayPokerGo on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
Back inside the room, we fast forwarded through the break. Players are back in action. Blinds are up. Let's see what we got.
$50 to call.
King 10, 8-5 double suited for Negreanu. He's the short stack.
175.
Seconds.
Pot.
575 total. Call.
All right, Brown makes it 575 with Ace Jack 10-8, and Negreanu
There are
looking to
fold-
flop
flo-
something
there are
good here.
folds I have, just
Only
so you know.
365 left
Gonna have to
behind.
look, see what comes.
Wow. Strong play.
That's
3,
not
4,
my
9,
fold.
2 spades.
You bet. I am
Negreanu
all in.
flops a flush draw.
No.
Good.
and he moves all in.
No.
What the hell do you have? Just ace high. It's
He
good.
bet in the dark. What do you expect him to
I'm
have?
just saying. Ace high's ahead. Oh, the 8's no good for me either? The 10's no good? What the hell? You have me locked up with no pair.
You hit 2 spades.
I mean, I have that, yeah. But I need a king, 5, or spade.
And he's got the 10 of spades too. 10 of spades too.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
tough
a lot.
spot here for Negreanu. We're still 50-50, but he needs to hit.
I'm due to win one of these.
Which is
Brown
honestly a
is
bad
ahead
thing.
with ace high.
Yeah.
Yes.
Turn is the 9
Oh, I
of
didn't
hearts. Negreanu
Spade.
needing to hit one of his 13 outs, or otherwise
Loo.
Tyler Brown will send him to the rail in 3rd place. River card, let's see it.
Damn.
It's the ace
Missed
of
it.
clubs. That is Brown.
GG.
Pleasure.
Daniel Negreanu eliminated in 3rd place. It's been a roller coaster, but ultimately
Come on over
he
here.
does not come out on top
Oh, you want me to draw
for
now?
the second time during this series. Negreanu collects $101,400 for his efforts.
I'm gonna
And
mush
Brown and Yockey will go heads up.
Go for it. You can't mush me with the 15. You have to put the 5 on top of it.
And look at this.
Seems the worst you can do.
I know.
Tyler Brown now
pick
drawing
one for me?
for a
Yeah, but
bounty.
you can
Okay,
pick another
no,
one,
that's
obviously.
okay.
Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right, let's see if he can.
I don't even want to look at it. I just want to
pull it off.
Camera.
You
Yeah.
gotta look at the camera.
I understand that. I don't know. Which
Oh,
side.
look at this. Bryce Yockey, master of ceremony.
Yeah, that's the side that you.
Yeah. I haven't looked.
Oh, my
50.
God.
Come on, dude.
Ah,
Bryce-
Bryce can't believe it.
Bryce is so tilted.
Nice hand. Or nice. pull.
$50,000. And Bryce Yockey nearly
So what do you have
destroys
now,
the
like
table.
280 bounties?
Yeah, 280 total.
So
Oh,
sick.
my God. Look at that.
We were saying if I ship this, I get like 80% of the bounty pool. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
Tyler Brown. Did he just say 325,000 in bounties?
No, 280 total.
280. Okay, sorry.
Is what he has right now, but there's still a 25, and then
Oh,
There's
by
a
the way, about
15.
your question,
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of figured.
I figured. So, but like based on the consensus, it's not allowed. So
That
just gotta play.
All right, so Tyler Brown locks
Yeah,
up the largest remaining bounty of $50,000. He also has a 2-1 chip lead. Bryce Yockey still playing for a lot of money, though. $140K guaranteed for these players from the
Mystery
regular
bounties are free,
payouts. $280 for Yockey. He's got
Do like
a
mystery
bunch of
bounty
bounties as well. And there's 2 bounties left to draw for that'll go to the winner as well. Here's a look at the current standings. 6.7 million to 3 million. 134 big blinds versus 60 big blinds. Brown versus Yockey for the title. Negreanu, as I've been told, has already hopped into the next event. So he is here to play. Negreanu playing in event number 9. You can follow live reporting of that event on pgt.com right now. That event will stream the final table of tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. But right now, it is time for some heads-up pot limit Omaha between these two very experienced players. GG, Daniel. Nice run.
It is a raise. That's 200. Raise to 100. Oh. Okay.
First hand of heads-up play, 250 in the middle. After a min raise and a call, these guys will definitely go into the trenches
125.
to try and beat each other.
Cool. Check. $500,000.
Yockey comes with a pot size bet here on the turn. He's got the Jack-6, got the 7-8 straight draw. He's got a lot going for him, and he takes it down.
It's pretty wild that we won every single bounty in the tournament.
It is. Also wild that you had a triple elimination to get in the fun.
That was pretty insane.
Yeah, this whole tournament was like a huge anomaly.
It's honestly kind of fun in a way, because it was like normally like the bubble and getting to the final table is such a grind, and here it was just like
it took all that away.
Unreal fast, and like it actually makes the final table really deep, which created a lot of play, and I kind of love it actually.
I do too.
$450.
150 from Brown with Queen Jack 10-6 and 450 from Yockey. We're going to play a big one here, potentially. Kings with the suit. Brown also with 2 diamonds. 10, 9, 4, 2 clubs.
Nice flop here if you're Brown, for sure. It's got that top pair. Straight draw as well.
Check. Check.
Time extension.
450.
Looks like Yockey got that one in at the buzzer. Betting 450 on the turn. Now, if you're Brown here, Donnie, with 10s and 6s, of course you got that straight draw as well. How comfortable do you feel?
I mean, I feel like you feel pretty good.
10 seconds.
You know, checking back flop, exercising some pot control there, not going too crazy. And now here, having 2 pair with the draws that you have, I think it's a great spot for him to do just that. You know, if you call, you can possibly, you know, have some equity that sticks around, even if it's on the smaller side. You know, it's fine to just fold it out. And then, you know, if Yockey wants to take a big draw and come with it, I mean, that's fine, but I probably have the best hand quite a bit here.
Yeah, with that Brown up to 7.3 million, Yockey facing an uphill battle. But as he mentioned himself, you know, this final table extremely deep stacked. Yockey's got 47 big blinds. Ace King 10. Yockey flopping 2 pair.
Check. Check. Check.
No aggressive action so far from Yockey, but he is going to come with it here.
75.
Just 75. Takes it down. All right, we are heads up in event number 8 of the PGT PLO Series. Here's a look at the road to the championship. The PGT $1 Million free roll at the end of the year is for the top 40 players on the season-long leaderboard, but it could also be for you. Win a seat, see exclusive Dream Seat opportunities for fans and viewers at pgt.com/dream-seat. So go check that out right now, and we might see you here in Vegas at the end of the year.
150. Cool.
Limp call from Brown on the button. Ace, queen, queen, 2 spades. Spades for Yockey. With the aggression shown pre-flop.
125.
We're going to see him continue here.
Check.
Queen, 6, 8, 2 spades. Now
100.
Brown with the flush draw. Feels like both players extremely comfortable playing heads up PLO.
Cool.
Ten of hearts on the turn. Let's see if Brown continues betting here. He does not. He just decides to check.
Check.
Ten seconds.
250.
Yockey makes trips on the river and gets Brown to bet into him. Full house, excuse me.
10 seconds.
Sixes and queens, so just waiting for the value raise.
Time extension.
Kind of hard to see what he's getting value from.
$1.4 million.
Here's 1.4 million.
Well, at least he's not being shy about it.
I mean, you can definitely hope to get called by one of the straights that are out there, in either 9-7 or Jack-9. Maybe some worse 2 pairs. You know, I could see Brown betting a hand like, or sorry, worse full houses, like a hand like 8-6 on the flop, and then, you know, you just check on the turn. But then Brown with the full house of his own, should he have had it, you know, comes with a bet here on the river trying to get some value. You know, in an ideal situation, that's probably what you want your opponent to have, more so than one of the straights. But either way, you know, let's see if he can get called here. I don't think if you're Brown, you want to raise and put this money in. Yeah, you have a straight, but there are certainly opportunities to be beat, and It would be just be getting a little bit too greedy, and of course we would see that it would be met with a call that he wouldn't like to see. So this is just call or fold here for Brown.
Brown does decide to let go of his straight, and Bryce Yockey gets to recoup some chips here. Still holding on to that 2-1 chip lead, Tyler Brown.
$150. Cool.
Queen 8-7, 2 clubs. Brown flopping the open-ended straight flush draw. Type of draw where you perhaps want to start building a pot here.
$250.
Not a bad flop.
I had you beat. I had like 2 of your outs. You basically were drawing dead.
King 6-5-4 for Yockey here. Looking good for him for now. And instead, Brown is going to be the one betting. Yockey just makes the call and makes a 9-high straight on the river.
$450 call.
7.
Snap call from Yockey.
6-5.
No reason to raise, and just like that, Bryce Yockey getting a hold of some more chips.
Small ball, the name of the game right now.
150.
Bryce Yockey with a beautiful king, queen, queen, 4 double suited in the big blind. Now, Donnie, how sort of,
450.
I'd say, risk averse do you have to be in a game like pot limit Omaha when you play heads up? Because a lot of the time, 3 bets will get called, bloating up the pot, and you're only going to find a favorable flop every so often.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you got to be willing to take risks. I know it's a bit cliche to say at this point, and we've said it a million times, but as we have come to know over the seasons at the PGT PLO Series, the equities run extremely close in this game, which means oftentimes, you know, it's going to be flipping a lot, you know, 60-40, 55-45, stuff like that. So you have to be willing to press the smaller edges and sort of embrace that gamble. Now, what I'll say is that in this particular situation, it's a bit of an outlier because these guys are so deep. So,
Right.
you know, Bryce Yockey, he's the short stack, so they're effectively playing right around 70 big blinds. You're probably just not going to want to jam in 70 big blinds. Whereas when you're closer to 15, 20, 25 big blinds and the SPR becomes quite lower and things condense, then
950.
yeah, it's going to take less to get the money in. So here, I think you're going to see a lot of what you're seeing, which is kind of some smaller pots as these guys kind of, in a way, dance around each other. It's like the start of a boxing match. You know, feeling each other out, a little bit of jabs here and there. Eventually, we're going to get to, you know, the 9th round, the 10th round, the championship rounds.
I mean,
and they're going to start throwing some haymakers.
Are we going to see a haymaker here? Because Bryce Yockey has got the open-ended straight flush drawing to a royal. Brown made it 950 with Queen Jack 7-6. This is music to the ears of Bryce Yockey. Now,
3.8 million.
you don't want to run into a 10, but anything else, Yockey will happily take. Show the Turner River. Is the ace of hearts out there?
Let's go, rabbit hunt.
Come on.
And a quick fold from there from Brown. You know, and that's, you know, kind of what I was getting at, where Brown's just not going to want to play for, you know, 70 big blinds with 2 pair and not really good draws to go along with it. You know, maybe if the stacks are much smaller and they're effectively 20 big blinds deep, they just get the money in there. But this deep, not the case. And we do see Yockey take the chip lead.
Check.
Another small one here.
50.
Brown's going to come with 50K. Justin Leonard saying Brown is outclassed in this matchup. Strongly disagree.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I mean, these are 2 of the best PLO players in the game. It's not really like either one has that big of an edge over the other. I mean, they're both extremely good.
Brown has shown all throughout this series and also this tournament more specifically that he's a match for anyone. PLO Pro also mentioned he's not going to play much Hold'em during the series, just going to focus on, I'm going to assume, Pot Limit Omaha.
Yeah, he was talking a bit yesterday how PLO is certainly his focus, PLO tournaments, especially now with, you know, as much PLO. And a lot of the players, you know, obviously all these guys are diehard PLO enthusiasts. We're talking about how you can basically play an entire summer schedule and not even touch Hold'em. Of course, you know, many of them will get into the WSB main event. Yes, you know, that's the unicorn of it all. That's the one you can win the $10, $11, $12 million first place prize.
Pass the queen.
But, you know, you can be out here all 7 weeks in the summer and you can just play pretty much PLO almost every single day. Really goes to show, you know, how far the game has come. It's also pretty crazy to think, again, Brown's just 25.
I know.
Like, he's this good this young, which is wild.
Raise.
150. 450.
Little pot building here. Brown limped the button with king, king, queen, 6 in one suit. Yockey opted to raise to 150 out of the big blind, and Brown came right back with the re-raise to 450. And these guys are so deep that Yockey's never folding here, so almost $1 million out there.
This is what we like to see, those 3-bet pots. Just make things a lot more exciting. Jack deuce 3, 2 hearts on the flop. No hearts for either player. Neither will be too excited about this, but Brown with kings might want to try and just end it right here.
Yeah, I could see him possibly betting to deny some equity, yes. There it is.
325.
325. Should get the job done. And it does. Brown back into the chip lead with that one. A narrow chip lead at that. 170K. So 3.5 big blinds separating these two stacks. They're effectively 95 big blinds deep, which is insane when you're heads up in a poker tournament. Any poker tournament to be average stack, 97 big blinds.
Just about. You got me by a little bit.
That never happens.
Yeah, where's Alan Kessler? This would be the minimum requirement for him to considering entering a tournament.
Imagine how we do if we just stop trying to bluff each other.
I mean, this is a good heads-up match for people that like to bluff each other.
King 10-10 as Yockey has basically requested perhaps some more fair poker.
Bad fold. I should have called that one, actually.
Can you imagine if we stopped bluffing, though? 100 blinds deep, heads up? Be a nightmare.
For the first tournament to ever go to 3 million chips blind. We can't do that for everyone else's sake. It is kind of funny how all our biggest spots are literally just bluffs.
Oh. $150.
Ace queen. Yockey just flops Brown dead, so no need to bluff for once.
I mean, Yockey will want to continue on this type of board. Probably looks a little bit red flaggish if you raise out of position and then check this texture, so he does come with a bet. Brown has enough with that flush draw, so he's going to come along. Queen on the turn, so, you know, Yockey just has all of it. Yockey gonna set the trap here and just check, see if he can get his opponent to pounce.
For 25.
I mean, if I'm Yockey, I'm just going to continue to slow play. There is literally zero reason for concern.
10 seconds.
$1,325,000 total.
Time extension.
Instead, he's going to make it 1.3 million. Now, correct me if I'm just stupid. What are you trying to sort of get to pay this? Like you literally block everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just the best path to get all the money in.
Right.
I mean, there probably is no really good path because, like you said, you have all of it. You know, you even block your opponent there from having a queen, so maybe your opponent can have an ace and he feels all right that you don't have ace-queen specifically because there are 2 queens out there. Yockey now with a lead of about 1.2 million. Starting to open things up here.
Call. Check. Check.
Limped pot here being checked through to the turn.
Check. 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 Check that.
6.
Queens and sixes with a 10.
Once again, a reminder, check out playpokergo.com. The fastest game in the universe. Play free online poker right now. Get in the game. Available on web, iOS, and Android. Scan the QR code on your screen and start playing within seconds. And I see Donnie Peters firing it up as we speak. There we go.
Yeah, I got to get in there. Every day you have a little bonus streak treasure chest thing that you can click on. So, you know, get in there, get my free chips. And then there's also this lucky spin wheel that I get to spin every day that I get some more free chips. So, you know, if I'm not going to be playing, I might as well just get in there daily and get my free. And look at that, 5,000 on the chips. The largest one that you can get on the lucky spin, baby. Let's go.
Oh my God, Donnie's literally screaming at his laptop. You guys,
I just got the 5,000. I try and get the 5,000 every day. Normally I'm getting 200, 500, whatever. No, 5,000. PlayPokerGo.com. Lucky spin. Let's go. Listen, man, you just got to find the little wins in every day. Life is stressful enough, okay?
Oh boy, Donnie Peters gambling it up here as we take a look at the PGT leaderboard. This is the overall leaderboard. The top 40 of this list will qualify for the $1 million free roll at the end of the year. So check out pg.com/leaderboard to find your favorite players. Joey Weissman on top, Foxton, Schulman, Blair, and Chino Reem rounding out the top 5, and Daniel Negreanu surging on this list with the points that he added today. So it's going to be a season-long battle to see who makes it into the top 40. And of course, we'll have the Last Chance Series most likely again this year, which will be a great sweat. Donnie and I were on the call for those events, which was a great way to start our year as we did that in the first week of January before the big championship.
Yeah, that's one of the most fun series of the year. It's just incredible the buzz that you get from that one. Everyone trying to get into that championship event.
Great, 180.
As I mentioned earlier, Negreanu hops straight into the next event. You can follow live reporting of that tournament on pgt.com. 53 players already in that event. 7-4-3 rainbow flop here. Yockey made a call for 30,000. Brown made it 180, and Yockey called. Yockey fires out 250.
Check, check on the turn. 5 comes in on the river.
Whoever sneezes at this one is probably going to take it. Brown's going to check. Yockey probably can't assume that. I mean, showdown value, if we're looking at just the king sort of being the overcard here, Yockey might think I can check here, my eights might be good, but instead he's going to fire out a bet here by the looks of it.
450.
A 450. Protecting his hand against some funky 2 pairs that might get sticky.
Yeah, you know, maybe he got there with like a 4-5 or something like that, and he can just fold those hands. Well done there from Yockey. Bigger lead now. I know we just showed the top 5 of the PGT season-long leaderboard. Negreanu wasn't in that top 5, but he is in 6th, just outside, about 40 points behind Chino Ream. So Negreanu moving up quite nicely on the season. He's got 8 cashes and 5 final tables and 2 victories already this season. Nick Schulman's leading the way in terms of cashes. He's got 12 cashes this season. But Schulman could be trending similar to Jeremy Osmus last season, because Schulman has 12 cashes. He's 3rd on the leaderboard. He's got no wins.
That's
And remember last year it took till the 2nd PGT PLO Series and the end of it for Osmus to get his first win of the season.
so crazy.
And he had like 22 cashes or something crazy like that. So,
Well, Yockey, or excuse me, Brown makes it 180 here on the button with ace-5, 3 deuce. Yockey in the big blind is going to make the call. Double suited. Jack 10, 6, 2 hearts. Brown has that ace of heart blocker, but Yockey flopping middle set here. He's not going to make any plans to relinquish this hand. Brown bets 300,000. Now, Donnie, on a very draw-heavy board like this, you know, we got the hearts, we got the Jack 10 showing, even the 10 and the 6 with some connectivity, although they're spaced out. Are we sort of forced into a more passive line?
yeah, I think you just call, see a safe card on the turn, and then, you know, proceed from there, which could still mean calling down, yes. But, you know, I don't think, again, I know we say it all the time, but equities do run pretty close. So if your opponent has a big draw, this deep, do you really just want to flip for it?
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But on the other hand, you could sort of think about that both ways, right? If Yockey applies that pressure, then it's Brown who has to make the decision. Do I want to flip for it if we're looking at it that way? Now, of course, the better path for Yockey is to have Brown bluff at this, and that is exactly what's happening right now.
I mean, this is crazy because this is like, this is a bluff that's just, I mean, I know he has the deuce 3 for diamonds now, but this is like just stone air as far as stone air is concerned in PLO.
So $1 million here from Brown, and Yockey sitting there with a set. Now his set does not look as tasty as it did on the flop. The 9 of diamonds does play in a variety of ways, but you simply can't fold here.
Yeah, I don't think you can fold. Do you want to raise and get it in? I mean, what are you getting called by?
Right.
Jacks, 7, 8, king, queen. You know, like it's just like, do I want to just go up against those hands? No, so let's just call. See where we're at on the river.
9 pairs on the river. That is the go-ahead card for Bryce Yockey to try and end it here. Now, we of course know that Brown has absolutely nothing, but this will give Yockey the confidence that he was looking for. If that 9 doesn't come off and Brown goes all in, all of a sudden this becomes difficult.
Yeah, of course. And now Yockey is in a really good spot to, I would think you want to check again. My reason there is, 1, you allow Brown to continue any bluffs to just barrel off. 2, you now beat value, right?
Right.
That said, if you think Brown is the type to like check back a hand on the river like a 7-8 or a queen-8, you know, the weaker straights, even king-queen, then you do come with the bet here. And that's the line that Yockey takes, and we of course know that Brown is going to quickly fold his hand.
So Yockey decided to lead on the river, and all of a sudden, Bryce Yockey with a commanding chip position, 7.3 to 2.4 million. Tyler Brown has not been short in this entire tournament, and right now, as we inch closer to crowning a champion, he's all of a sudden in the driver's seat. Donnie, it'd only be fair if Yockey could win this, because that's how much money he needs to earn on top of what he already has to even get close to what Brown has already won in bounties.
Yeah, Brown already has locked up in bounty money alone $280,000. He's guaranteed another $140K for getting to second place. Of course, first place also $218,000, so a bump there. If Yockey does win this, Yockey currently has $65K in bounties. The 2 bounties left are $25K and $15. The winner gets both of them. You obviously get the bounty for knocking out your opponent, and then you get the other one because it's your own bounty, and that's what you get. So an additional $40K there in bounties. So yeah, you know, in a way, it would kind of be fair for Yockey to win. And again, going back to yesterday, you know, Yockey was the one who started the whole bounty spree. They got down to 15, 3 off the money, 12 spots paid. That's when bounties kicked in. First hand, when they got down to 15, Yockey eliminated 3 people on the same hand. 4
absurd.
players at a 5-handed table got the money in, and Yockey won it.
With bottom 2 pair.
Yeah, just boom. See you later. But then, of course, you know, Brown, he ran hot, drawing the envelopes. He drew 125 first. He drew 50K second. He drew 25K third. So just an absolutely wild tournament. And I'll say that I think the players very much enjoyed the first ever PGT Mystery Bounty event. So I would imagine we see quite a bit more of these. Maybe we'll see a no limit hold'em variant coming up soon. I know the US Poker Open, which starts next week. I know that schedule is locked in, so you can't do it there. But heck, Poker Masters, right? Mystery Bounty in there. Why not? I know you talked about the Bounty Series. That would be great. Sure have, you know, a couple Mystery Bounties in that, too, if we can get that thing going. So bounties are the thing right now. I want to know, what does the chat think? Do you guys like bounties?
Well, I'm certainly a fan, Donnie. I think the bounty series needs to happen. By the way, check out playpokergo.com, a fun and free online poker game, so deal yourself in right now at playpokergo.com, available on web, iOS, and Android. We're in the mix right now, getting some games going. Always a good time.
Yes, let us know in the chat if you like bounties. I would also like to know which bounties you like. There are normal bounties. There are progressive bounties, also known as PKOs. And then there are what you're playing right here, mystery bounties. I feel like the regular bounties these days, now that you have the PKOs and you have the mystery bounties, regular bounties are almost the dinosaur that no one cares about anymore. Oh, I bust someone at the final table, I get $500. Oh, yay. Who cares, right?
Donnie, it's just the gateway drug turns into a real habit.
That's right.
Ace, king, queen, jack for Brown. He's going to bet this with his top two. Look at Bryce Yockey here, open-ended, paired his jack. Doesn't have clubs, but he's going to make the call here. Turn card, ace of clubs. Nobody with king 10, also nobody with clubs. This probably favors Brown more.
Yeah, it also might slow down the action.
And it does. Brown is going to check back. River is the 7 of diamonds. Brown gets the check mark, but he's not going to be too excited about this with the clubs being present. But Yockey's going to feel even worse about this. Now, given the fact that Brown has checked back and Yockey check called that flop, can he represent clubs here and try and steal this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, on one hand, you have a 5 of clubs in your hand. I know it's not the best club to have, but it does block some combos of your opponent having. You also have a 10, blocking king 10. So I do like this bet from Yockey. Also, you know, when you're in the driver's seat like Yockey is, I think you definitely need to look for these opportunities to put pressure on your opponent. And 800K is a hefty bet here, and, you know, Brown's in a tough spot. But look at that, he makes it.
Oh, wow.
Is there another club?
Great call from Brown with quote-unquote just ace-queen. And we're drawing closer together yet again.
And I think you saw it there with the way that Brown called. You know, he kind of put his head down and put the chips in. It's almost like, you know, just kind of pinch your nose, make the call, and hope for the best. Hopefully your opponent turns over a bluff, and Yockey did there. You know, you're not like fist pump calling, but you're probably also leaning to not fold, so. Michael Taylor here trying to bring us back, saying, remember when you bought in once, no re-entries or late entries, 2 days later, and if you lost, that was it.
What universe was
yeah,
that in?
that doesn't happen anymore, man. This does not happen.
Now, Michael, do you also remember, especially on the internet, where you could go all in for a double rebuy every hand for the first hour?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is hard to see a lot of free rolls these days. You actually do see a lot of them at the World Series of Poker. You know, I know they made an effort, I think a year or two, maybe 3 ago, where they said, you know, we're gonna put some more freeze outs back on the schedule, and they did.
All right, a little look at event number 9, the 15K PLO underway right now. We see Ben Tollerine, top right-hand of your corner, Eric Seidel, Jesse Lonis, Nick Schulman, Josh Aryeh. Oh, Mr. Chidwick has finally arrived.
Oh, he's back.
The mustache man.
I heard him talking before play started that he was over in Jeju for the Triton series and then went over to Japan with the family, did some traveling, and now he's back.
Love it. Daniel Negreanu at the table with him. I believe that is Osmus on the left-hand side, so definitely all the stars are out. Those guys are trying to decide who makes the final table for tomorrow's live stream.
Check.
Yeah, when I saw Chidwick walk in this morning, I thought I saw a ghost, to be honest. I was like, wow, man. Of course, it helps to get here because it'll be a short turnaround before the U.S. Poker Open kicks off on Tuesday. For anyone in the Vegas area, there will be a $560 buy-in satellite on Monday in the Aria Poker Room. I believe that starts at 1 p.m., but you can check the PGT schedule on pgt.com for full information there and the satellite structure. So Monday, $560 buy-in satellite. The satellites this season on the PGT have been insanely big for those opening events. So if you don't have $5K to play that first event, don't feel bad because you're just like Remko and I. But hop on into that $560 satellite and heck, maybe you're playing in the studio the next day.
Pot.
380.
Brown coming with a full pot size bet here on the turn. This was a limped pot pre. Brown bet 100K on the flop and Yockey called. Now it's 380 on the turn. Brown has top pair here. Yockey with 2 pair with the 5-4. Yockey also has the 10-7 wrapped around the 9-8 for a straight draw. Yockey calls, so here we go. More than 1.1 out there. Jack comes home on the river. Yockey makes his straight. No flush is present. Board is not paired, and he checks. Brown quickly checks back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll win.
10-7 for a straight shown, and that's the winner. It is extremely wild to me that these two players are heads up, and they are the only two players who won a bounty. Not one other person knocked anyone else out.
I mean, it's still
from 15 left.
It's
like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How did that not happen? King 995 for Bryce. Limps in. 10-8 the reduced double for Brown.
King 8-8 on the flop here. Yockey potentially in a little bit of trouble here, but at least this king is not that great.
Yockey checking back after making those trip kings to retake the lead against Brown.
Check.
Seconds.
Value bet here from Yockey for 225. Another tricky spot for Brown to navigate, but with these trip eights, probably going to have to call this one.
What?
Oh, wow. He comes with a check raise. Snap call from Yockey.
I guess that bluff's pretty bad then, huh?
Bryce Yockey up to 7.5 million. Brown down to 2.2.
That's 9, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1.075.
There was 300 in the middle.
775 plus 300. He made it 220.
Yeah, so 675.
675.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, nice. My bad.
You're good.
Yockey better than 3-1 now. Back up over 7.5 million.
Feel so short. I look down at 46.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
As a reminder, coming up later tonight on PokerGo, a special cash game with Remko on the call. Who's
Yes.
in the game? I think we got Rampage in the game.
Rampage, Wolfgang, Sam Solverl, Bryce Hall. It's a whole cast of characters. Characters indeed. It's
What, are they playing 25-50?
25-50.
Okay.
These guys play that game regularly, and they asked if they can play it here on cash flow, and here we go.
Oh, they just add, it's that easy. You just say, hey, can I play?
My own 4-8 limit game is going to be on next week.
You know, we should run a promotion.
Run your own game.
Yeah, people should submit like why their home game is the best home game, and to get in, we'll call it the ultimate home game or something.
Bryce Yockey betting 180,000 here with the King 10 9-8, just hoping to take this down here, but Brown does have ace jack. Ace of clubs on the turn. Now this changes things a little bit. We swing to 50-50 equity here. Bryce Yockey with the open and the straight flush draw. Now we can see the 6 of clubs already dead, but still Yockey with a real straight draw here. He's got the wrap.
10 seconds.
Check.
Time extension.
Check.
Action goes check, check, river card, 4 of diamonds. And now Brown making the ace high straight. Oh, excuse me, the 8 high straight.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun turn card, but didn't lead to any action.
Pot.
780.
And Brown is going to fire out pot on the river.
Yockey makes the fold.
Is it just 1 or 2 heads up?
Yeah. One hand, guys. One hand, one more at this level.
10 seconds.
There's 180. Call.
10-10-3, 2 spades. Brown made a 180 pre after Yockey limped in. Brown's going to continue for 150. He's got backdoor clubs going for him. Oh, and look at this. Yockey with the immediate check raise to 500K. And Brown gets out of the way. Bryce Yockey, $6.2 million in career tournament earnings. He's been around the block. 2 WSB bracelets under his belt, 1 in PLO, 1 in PLO 8 or better. The question now is, can he close this one out and get his second PGT PLO title inside the studio? 7 million versus 2.7 million. It's looking good for him so far. The man who just loves to play all the games. Yockey and Brown still going at it. Yockey, by the way, at his 17th PGT final table, he's only won once. Goes to show how hard it is to close it out and get a W. Trips for Yockey. He's gonna at least limp in, try to see the flop with this big blind ante in play. Deuce, deuce, 6, 2 spades. Haven't seen Brown's cards yet. Shout out to all those that are sticking around after we lost Negreanu in 3rd place. Appreciate you all for watching. We have another final table chance for D-Nex tomorrow. He's in the mix right now in the 15K that kicked off not too long ago.
Is this a specific card? Oh, we should get a deck change then for sure.
Probably, yeah.
When the floor comes back, we'll just get a setup.
Yeah, we'll ask for a new setup.
Sounds like we have a damaged card.
He's saying one of the cards isn't scanning. Can we just
get a new setup?
Can we get a setup? Thanks. Because I have a pretty good feeling I know what the card is.
Right, and I know at least it's one of the 4 I have,
And it's
right? Like,
hey, he scanned mine the previous hand, so it's
Okay.
one of my 4 also. So it's
Sure.
like there was some overlap there. It's just better to have a fresh deck.
Usually we always confirm it anyway.
Check.
sorry.
Looks like they think it's probably more than one card. But
Okay. Well, even more of a reason then.
we'll get a new deck in here.
Yeah.
Ace, King, 7, 2 diamonds. New deck is on the way.
Check. $160.
I'm good for the moment.
I'm good.
Just all I need is a 4 of a kind and a straight flush.
Oh, is that all?
Bryce Yockey calling for some major cards here to try and hope to close this thing out. Tyler Brown, I wouldn't say on the ropes, but he's definitely struggling. If you want to try and win some chips of your own, check out playpokergo.com. Available on web, iOS, and Android. Free to play
One
poker
double.
game.
We're back to even. That's all I want. One double open. We're almost even. Or one of the hands where I like pretend to bluff and then somehow backdoor into something. That would work too.
Call. Check.
Limp pot again. Jack 8-8, 2 clubs. Trips for Brown. Brown's going to limp in with 7-4 deuce deuce.
240.
No free flops anymore from Yockey.
Call.
Nine, 6, 6, 2 spades. Yockey flopping the flush draw.
For a second, I thought that was 9-8 of spades with a 6. But my eyes playing tricks on me. Still good flop for Yockey, of course.
$280.
280 here from Brown. And Yockey's just going to come along and make the call. This pot is getting big now in relation to Brown's stack. 1.1 million in the middle. 7 of diamonds on the turn. Brown picks up a pair of 7s.
Check.
But Yockey already has the 10 high straight with the flush draw to go along with it. It looks like Brown is reaching again. Might he consider betting again?
He might check back here. Now picking up what could be perceived as some showdown value. Also could bluff it on a paired board. He's going to take the latter approach.
How much in there?
1.12 in there.
Oh, Bryce Yockey asking that dangerous question that usually comes before a pot size re-raise. And instead, he is going to make the call. So now we've got 2.1 million in the middle. Brown with just 1.6 left. And the 10 of diamonds on the river, so flush draw doesn't get there. Yockey gets the check mark. Improving to a jack high straight.
Check.
He's going to check again. Action on Tyler Brown. He's got a big chunk of his chips invested in this hand, but bluffing just seems like a scary ordeal here given this board.
All in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Brown moves all in. The snap call follows, and that's it. We are done.
I
Tyler-
did not see him bluffing that.
Tyler Brown eliminated in second place,
Nice sound.
Thanks.
and Bryce Yockey gets his second PGT PLO title of his career. Phenomenal win for him, and Tyler Brown will not be unhappy. He collected $280,000 worth of bounties. Bryce Yockey collects $105,000 worth of bounties and the $218,000 first place payout. What a roller coaster this event has been, and Bryce Yockey ultimately the one coming out
Oh my
on
God,
top.
there's a 25 and a 15 in there. Who would have known?
Bryce Yockey
I got you.
collecting the final 2 bounties of this event, as he is the last player standing. What a phenomenal display by him. Bryce Yockey, a dominant showing. Tyler Brown also played very well. He'll look back on this tournament fondly, as these guys, I want to say, beat 7 or busted 7 and 6 players
There we go.
of this
Want me to open
event.
these?
Bryce Yockey now in second place on the overall standings with 403 points. Tyler Brown in 4th, so both players still contending for the overall in the PGT PLO Series as we look inside the room with 2 events left to come. Event number 9, the 15K PLO tomorrow, and then the 25K PLO Championship airing on Saturday night, April 5th. So lots more PLO action to come, but please know that in a few hours at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern, we will have Cash Flow, 2550, no limit hold'em cash game. I'll be on the commentary. Hope you all return for that. Please join me there for some shenanigans, and it's going to be no limit hold'em. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.